Hi, welcome to episode 2 of We Are Yarn. Again, my name's Amanda. I'll be your host. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are returning after the first episode, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are finding me for the first time and picking this point as the place to start, thanks for joining me. All right, so I have quite a few things to talk about. It's been just a week and a half. But let's see what we can find. All right, so first we talk about what's in the cup. Today I'm drinking out of my beautiful handmade little sheep cup. I'm drinking coffee with the Bailey's creamer, not real Bailey's, unfortunately. Handmade in the Great Smoky Mountains. Beautiful. You can get those at the Smoky Mountain Spinnery up in Gatlinburg. So, slapping my thighs again. Okay, so on the needles, as last time, I am working on the watershed. There is, there's the front, lovely, lovely. There's the back. All right, so last time I talked about how I had gotten all the way through that lower band around the bottom there and made the 3 mistakes, and so backed out, started over again. And then last time, this little marker is showing you where I was. I've made it quite a long way. I picked up my stitches along the edge here. Well, I finished that, picked up my stitches along the edge, and I've done 2.5 repeats now of the lace. And that's that. Isn't that pretty? I'm kind of proud of it. See what I'm looking at. See what you guys are seeing there. I do want to take a moment. These stitch markers were fashioned for me for my birthday by the lovely Holly of Sweet Sparkle Designs. She is not a knitter, has no idea about anything about stitch markers, but she does design jewelry. I'm not much of a jewelry wearer, and when talking to my husband about what she could do for me for my birthday, he suggested stitch markers. And so she looked at the ones that I was using and kind of fashioned some out of her odds and ends beads here, and they're gorgeous. She has them for sale on her shop now, sweetsparkledesigns.com. I'll give you a link at the bottom. So there's that. I'm really excited about it, but I have not been working on it as much as I would like to, because I did a lot of spinning this week. I got really excited about spinning this past week, so there's going to be a lot in that segment. But I did want to talk about another on the needles that I did pick up and put down a couple of times this week, but never actually knit a stitch on it. And that is my ebb tide. I was going to knit along with the Knit Knit Cafe podcast and do the ebb tide. I started it a little late and put it down and haven't picked it back up since Cap Kit until this week when I picked it up and looked at it and put it back down again. So just to remind you, in case you haven't looked at it, it is a beautiful shawl with, it starts at the neck, up at the neck at the top, and then it has stockinette, and then a feather and fan section, stockinette, feather and fan, until you get to the edge, and at the edge is a real pretty sand dollar lace pattern. Now, I don't know if I've been podcasting long enough to talk about this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, because we got to heal sometime. Isn't that right, Fru? So this is my yarn. Beautiful. This is my hand spun. It's not my most beautiful hand spun ever, but I wasn't going for that. This is a mix of Ashford's merino silk blend, and I held that alongside 4 ounces of it. I held it alongside 1 ounce of some aqua blue, just merino from the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. What I was going for here, this is the first time I spun with a purpose. My dad just about, a year ago was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he also had multiple sclerosis and was a partial quadriplegic, and they decided to not treat and just do palliative care. And I spun this. I wanted to spin something while I was going to visit that would make me think of my daddy. And his favorite place to be was the Everglades. So I was going for the green, Ashford was actually called Woodlands, I think. And it was greens and browns and some black, and then that silver from the silk. And when I added that blue to it, it was the Everglades. So it was going to be a Romy Hill shawl, and I knit quite a bit of the Romy Hill shawl sitting with Daddy. And unfortunately, after he passed away, I hated that shawl. It was very nice to knit. It was the Melpomene, I think is how you pronounce it. It was very nice. It was very pretty, very textural, but I did not enjoy knitting it at all. Just wasn't my thing. So I ripped it out and started the ebb tide with this, because I wanted something that I would finish and wear. And this is how far I've gotten. It does have this pretty, can you see that? Can you see that? There we go. I have figured out that I have to put things directly in front of my face for this camera to focus on it. Good times. And I'm sorry if you hear something in the background. I do have the door shut today because there are other people in the house, and I have 3 cats, and you know, cats, shut doors don't go together, so they may be scratching a little bit. But anyway, back to in front of my face. That's the pretty spine down the center. It's a 4-row repeat of a little cable, which is very adorable and very pretty, and it's going to look really nice, but it makes this shawl not be just autopilot knitting for me. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how long this takes me, but I just wanted to show that to you guys. These stitch markers are ones that I made. Yeah, they're just earring backs with little beads hanging off of them. So that's the ebb tide. All right, off the needles. Sad panda. I don't have anything because I was spinning. So let's get to that. Okay, so let's talk about what's off my wheel first, because I'm the most excited about that. Okay, so off my wheel is my alpaca and you gradient. So excited. I decided, remember last week I called out for a little bit of help about whether I should keep it as a single or not. My cats are so adorable. I'm sorry. One stopped inside with me when I shut the door. He didn't want to leave, and my youngest, Pippin, and Miss Toes that you saw last week. The two of them are playing under the door. It's precious. Anyway, okay, so here it is. It turned out lovely. I left it as a single, and I hope it works. What I did, I ended up, I have a pretty long, I have a couple of rooms that are joined by a pretty wide door, and I set up my, what's it called? Swift. I set up my Swift in one room, and then probably 30 or 40 feet away, no, okay, yeah, and then 30 or 40 feet away I set up the Lazy Kate with the bobbin on it. So I strung it a really long way to try to get the singles to kind of even out before I set it. And I got a pretty good workout because my cats really wanted to help a lot. And because of the cats, I did have 2 or 3 breakages along the way, but I just spit spliced it together and kept on going. So then I just soaked it like I usually would. Soak is really expensive. Wool washes are really expensive, and I got put out at how quick I went through my first bottle of soak. So I kind of looked around, read a little bit, and actually my Start Spinning book by somebody, I'll put her name at the bottom, bing, she talked about using shampoo. I had seen some people talk about using some clarifying shampoo, and so I use Suave clarifying shampoo as my wool wash. I just put a little squirt into the sink. Then I put into lukewarm, warm to the hand water, and let it soak for 20 minutes. And then I give it a 15 or 20-minute bath in clear water. If a whole lot of dye comes out of it on that first wash, I will use a little splash of white vinegar and give it a vinegar bath, and then the clear water bath. But so I did that same thing with this. The only thing that I did different than normal is I whacked the holy living daylights out of this. I beat it against the counter in the bathroom so hard. Water was going everywhere. I tried to squeeze a lot of the water out of it in a towel, but yeah, to whack the holy living daylights out of it. And then I had used a really small diameter on my Swift when I was winding it into the skein the first time. So I rewound it. I used my umbrella Swift and then my nice Swift. And I had a lot of breakages in the pink area, in the coral, while I was winding it into that larger diameter skein. So I am not real certain about how well it's going to hold up in that coral area, but other than that, I must have been in a hurry and didn't get enough twist into it. But I'm so excited about this. I did calculate out that I probably got about 950 yards out of this 4 ounces. I did do a wraps per inch this time, the first time I've ever calculated a wraps per inch on my yarn using my handy dandy little whip tool. I got this off of Etsy for $10, and I think it's totally worth it because it's adorable, from Girl on the Rocks. It's just precious. And I don't think I did it right because I got what calculated out to 25 wraps per inch. I couldn't have done it right. But, I mean, 950 yards out of 4 ounces is probably a pretty good lace weight. So, we'll talk about my plans for this in a few minutes. Let's talk about what I've been spinning. I know I was talking about the spackle. I have done nothing for the spackle. I'm getting way too far behind. But that's because I don't have any bobbins available. None. The only bobbin I have available right now is what this was on. So, no. It has something on it right now. It has what I'm playing on it. Let me show you what I did. So last time I talked about my Knitting in Color bat, Knitting in Color, the Changeling with the Firestar and Falkland mill-ins, and I finished spinning it. Believe it or not, I'm very excited about this. So that's one bobbin. Let me put it right in front of my face so it'll focus better. There we go. Pretty thin. I've been spinning that really, oh. That's why you don't spin it as thin as I am. So that's my first single there. And there's bobbin number 2. I'm going to ply those together and make a 2-ply. I finished those up last night, night before last. It's currently May the 31st, Thursday. And I was going to jump straight into plying them, but then I went, you know, you're really supposed to let it sit for a day before you ply it, but rules are made for breaking, but really I should, but I want to get it done because I want to show you guys. And I was excited about having finished the alpaca and you, and I wanted to finish this, and I was excited, but then I was like, no, you should have seen me sitting there trying to decide what to do. But then I remembered that I didn't show you guys because I had finished the singles over a month ago and just never done anything with them. This is by Dragonfly Fibers. It's a merino silk blend. I unfortunately have lost the label because I'm awesome like that. The colorway is called Fresh Olives, and it had 4 ounces in it. I started Navajo plying it, and at the point where I stopped was a little frustrating because I guess I hadn't spun it tightly enough to be in-plied to take that strain, and it just kept breaking, and I just got angry and quit. But here's what I have so far. It's turning out pretty nice. Right in front of my face so it focuses better. I hope this new lighting arrangement I set up is working better. It seemed kind of dark last time when I was watching back through it. I also hope that I'm speaking up better than last time. I'm sorry it was so quiet. I didn't realize it was as quiet as it was until I went to play it back for my mother-in-law, and we could barely hear it on her computer cranked all the way up. It was a little embarrassing. I said, oh, I need to work on that. I am planning on getting another microphone. I just haven't gotten to the store yet. So, at any rate, halfway done. Good God Almighty. I'm watching the old episodes of Dancing with the Stars right now. I like to just let it DVR the whole season and then watch it in a big chunk in a couple of weeks instead of waiting. And I plod that much in one hour show, and then one results show, and then the following week's 2 hour competition. That's it. It took me forever, and I'm blaming it on the fact that it kept breaking. But I'm not real sure it's all going to fit on this bobbin. Do you see all that I have left? I mean, it may. Maybe. But that's that. I'm real excited about that. No idea what it's going to be. We'll see how much yardage I get out of it. So, I also, this week, took my little gem to knitting group and spun instead of knitted. And I started spinning, if you remember, another Knitting in Color. She must put opiates in her fiber because I love it all. Knitting in Color. This is going to be the Tropicana Falkland, 4 ounces in the braid. I rebraided it so that it would feed off the end because I like to just work straight from the braid. Remember, I want to apply it with my daisy knits. It's going to be beautiful. And I didn't take it off the mother of all just because I'm feeling a little lazy today. But here we are. You were wondering what the mother of all looks like for the little gem. There it is. And it's spinning like a dream. I have to assume that the other Falkland that I spun for this was not fun to spin. And I don't want to blame it on the dyer. I think Alpaca and You is awesome. She's an awesome person, awesome dyer, but I'm afraid I want to blame it on whoever she got her fiber from, that it was kind of felty and sticky and did not draft easily. This is drafting so easily, and it's just so pretty, and the color changes just are gorgeous. I'm very excited. That blue is actually looking a little darker than it really is. It's this just gorgeous ocean turquoise. So that's going to be my fun spinning, and I'm trying to get all these other bobbins emptied so I can get moving on my grown-up knitting, my grown-up spinning, which is going to be that Shetland. As she glances over at her 2.2 pounds and takes a swig of coffee. I don't know what I was thinking. So acquisitions very quickly. I didn't buy anything. Nothing came from any of the clubs, any 2 clubs that I'm in. But I did get a wonderful package in the mail from my roommate at Camp Kip. If you were there, you know who she is. I didn't talk to her about talking about her on the podcast, so I'm not going to say her name. But I did her a favor, I guess, while we were there. And she was just very grateful. And because she is a wonderful person, she sent me my first skein of Madeline Tosh. It's the Baltic color. Sorry. It's the Baltic colorway. And it's the Tosh Sport. It's a sport weight, 280 yards, superwash merino. And 280 yards. It'll be fun to come see what I come up with to use this for. But it's really pretty. I love it. Thank you. So that's my new yarn. Alright, so just other things that I've been thinking about. I yeah, I've already talked about the spackle. I'm pretty intimidated at this idea of spending this much fiber to make a sweater. I know that it's possible to spin enough fiber to make a sweater. I mean, we did it for a long time, right? I know that I have the skills to do this. I'm just concerned about time, and because I put it off for so long getting to it. And I think they're talking about casting on sweaters somewhere around September, June, July, August. So that gives me 3 months. The problem with this is that I, being the crazy girl that I am, who's crazy? This girl. I joined Nerd Wars. I had not been planning on doing this. I didn't talk about it last week because this was not on my radar even a little bit. But they were talking about one of my friends from Camp Kip, several of my friends from Camp Kip talked about Nerd Wars while we were there, and it just sounded a lot of fun. And then they posted on Twitter, several of them, that sign-ups were closing the next day, and I was like, should I do this? Because, and I posted, I was like thinking about signing up, and everyone was like, you should do it. And I went, okay, I'll do it. I put down that I wanted to be my first pick as Team TARDIS because I'm a huge Doctor Who fan of the new seasons. I haven't gone back and watched the old ones yet, but I am planning on it. My next choice was Team Bazinga. Excuse me. My next choice was Team Bazinga because I really enjoy watching Big Bang Theory. And I didn't expect to get into TARDIS, but lo and behold, I did. I was so excited. The first challenge is going to be released tomorrow morning, and I'm saving this. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet because I'm going to see if I can make it, see what the first challenge is and see if I can make it fit. I have several shawl patterns picked out. What are they? They're called, uh-oh, sorry about that crazy back and forth there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I picked out 6 patterns depending on how much yardage I have. So because I got so much yardage out of this, the 950 yards, it's crazy. And I'll just, if I can make it work, put the pictures in the corner. We'll see. The first one that I've looked at is Rendezvous by Lily Go. It's gorgeous. Well, oh, let me tell you why I'm saving this. So, I don't know if you watch Doctor Who, but the Doctor is from the planet Gallifrey, which is oranges and reds. It's like it's on fire kind of thing. Made me think of this, made me think of the planet. So I'm going to try to knit this in a shawl for Nerd Wars and get my 3 extra points for tying it in because it looks like Gallifrey. So my 3 shawls that I've narrowed it down to now that I have my yardage. Rendezvous. It's a triangular shawl knit from the top down. It's lacy, kind of wavy. Hopefully there'll be a picture. The next one is called the Zauberfeuer. It's German. By Birgit Freyer. I've knit, it just, this one has like big lace panels that look kind of gothic, but it's very pretty, and I think in this gradient it'll be really nice, hopefully. And the third one is the Pamuya, Pamuya by Alexandra Wiedmeyer. I've been looking at this shawl for a long time to use my hand spun with, and it's more textural, has some drop stitch areas in it and things, and hopefully you're looking at it. And I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about. We'll see what the challenge is, because it's totally possible that this won't fit into any of my challenges this month. But hopefully I can make it work. That's half the fun of Nerd Wars, is making what you want in it fit into the challenges. So that's Nerd Wars. I've also been, for some reason, I crochet. I haven't shown you much crochet. The only crochet I guess you've seen is little Pedro. Who is a Fresh Stitches pattern. She has adorable things. You should check her out if you crochet. She has adorable little things. But yeah, I decided for crochet month that I was going to crochet some doilies. And I made 2, and they were real simple doilies. And now I'm over my fear of the super tiny hook. And yeah, I want to crochet doilies again. I'm gonna hold off and see if I can make that fit into the challenges, but you may be seeing a doily in the future from me. I never thought I would need a doily. I never thought I would want to crochet a doily, but I made the first one. It was real tiny. And then as a housewarming gift, I will receive one of those Scentsy wax melter smell good things, and I put it under that on the counter, and it just looked real cute. And I have a piece of antique furniture that I wanted to put a lamp on top of, and my other doily that was a little bit bigger I put under that lamp, and it just looks right cute, surprisingly. So apparently doilies are my thing. So I'm gonna make some more, and maybe you'll see that later. I haven't picked one out yet. I have a couple of little flyers for doilies from Hobby Lobby, so I'll look through those and see what I can't pick out for you to see next week, hopefully. Maybe it'll fit into a challenge. So hopefully in 2 weeks from today, that will be, what will that be? The 14th of June. So on the 14th of June, hopefully you will be seeing this finished, this finished. I'm gonna have to be a busy girl. At least one more repeat on this. I have a lot of I am woefully behind on my CEs, and I've been watching them on the interwebs, and I'm working on this while I do the CEs, so hopefully you'll see more of that, or maybe more of this. Maybe I'll have a feather and fan repeat finished by next week. Yeah, so I hope you have a great 2 weeks, and yeah, I guess that's it. I have gone woefully over my half hour I was shooting for, so sorry about that. Hope you have a great couple of weeks. Please be safe in everything you do. Sweet dreams, 26. Okay. Okay, so I recorded that entire episode and completely forgot to mention announcements. So I've come back. I've already recorded the show. I'm going to stick this at the beginning. So, announcements. Yay! All right, so I actually have my website set up now, weareyarn.com. My very talented husband with very little help from me. Um, Unfortunately for him, he really wanted some help, and I really didn't give him any guidance. Created this beautiful website, so please go check it out. Also, I have created the Ravelry group. That is, search groups for We Are Yarn. I have, last time I checked, somewhere around 20 members, which sounds like nothing, but it's very exciting to me. And welcome all you guys that joined in the first couple of days. I really, really appreciate it. Also, I just wanted to announce that my first video, last time I checked, had 146 views, which blows my mind. I wanted to thank Wendy Sillyfru of the Sass Pants Knitter video podcast. Thank you so much for giving me that shout out on Plurk. Also, Jennifer of Daisy Knits gave me a shout out on Twitter. Thank you, and I guess on Plurk as well. Thank you so much for that. You guys are really great. Yeah. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll stick this at the end of the podcast. We'll see. I'll probably cut that out. Anyway, talk to you later.